morning, y'all. It has been a long time. I'm sorry. It's been a busy couple months, but I have really missed doing these vlogs and sharing them with you and sharing my family life with you and just my thoughts on the daily readings. It's just that usually I sneak in a little bit of time at work during lunch or during a break to move the vlogs along in the editing process. And work has just been crazy busy. So life update, Bishop Powers, our bishop for the Diocese of Superior where I work, created a new office called the Office of Evangelization and Missionary Discipleship. And he asked me to run it. So I've been rather busy the last couple of months, figuring out what the new office is going to do, getting some additional people on board to help run it. And May is usually my busiest month of the year, getting ready for all of our youth ministry summer programming, Extreme Faith Camp and Totus Tuus. So I hate saying I'm busy because everybody's busy, but I've been being stretched. How about that? This morning, though, I wanted to share a quote and a thought with you guys. So this week, in the last week leading up to Pentecost, we're reading through John chapter 17 at Daily Mass, the high priestly prayer of Jesus, where he specifically is praying for the disciples, for the young church, and for the church throughout the ages, for unity, for oneness. And it's a really dense chapter, and it's one that we don't read frequently during the liturgical year because it's so dense. And I don't know about you, but if you pray with the daily readings every day, sometimes you get to a really dense gospel section and you're like, I'll just focus on the first reading. Especially if the first reading is like they have been for us recently. They've been from the Acts of the Apostles, and it's a narrative, and it's way easier to track with the narrative than this really dense, long theological monologue from Jesus. But the high priestly prayer is such an important prayer, an important teaching of Jesus. He's praying to the Father, like I said, imploring the Father for the grace of unity in the church. And friends, I don't know about you, but unity has been so heavily on my heart this past year, especially in the last 6 months or so. There's a wide diversity of opinion on all sorts of things in the church, but especially pertaining to the coronavirus, masking, social distancing, vaccines, all of these things. I was just sharing this with a friend the other day. There have been several times where I've seen just ugly division over those things. And I feel like I could hear Satan laughing from hell, delighting in the division that's taking place over these things. And so the quote that I wanted to share with you comes from one of my favorite saints, Saint Jose Maria Escrivá, who's the founder of an organization within the church called Opus Dei, which means the work of God. And his writings and his teachings were one of the influences in my life when I became Catholic. In The Way, which is this beautiful little book of powerhouse sayings that Saint Jose Maria said, he says this in number 940. Don't forget that unity is a sign of life. To disunite is a sign of putrefaction. I'll tell you what that word means in a second. To disunite is a sign of putrefaction, a clear sign of being a corpse. Unity is a sign of life, and I think we've all experienced that, right? Like on a really tightly knit, united sports team. For me, I think of my marching band in high school. Like, not everybody got along, but we all were pursuing a common good with everything that we had, and there was so much energy and vibrancy and life because of that. I also think of when you go to a parish where everybody's singing and everybody's just invested in the liturgy. There's this energy and this vitality. I think that's one of the reasons that people love coming to summer camps so much, because there's this energy and this vitality through the unity of everybody being engaged, everybody being invested, everyone being energetically united in the pursuit of the thing that's going on there. Contrary-wise, if that's a word from Winnie the Pooh, when there's a spirit of disunity, where there's clearly division and let alone animosity within that division, that leads to death. Putrefaction means being made putrid, starting to rot. And friends, I want to join with the Lord in begging the Father for the grace of unity for our church. Let's not let these things divide us. The devil takes delight, if he's capable of such a thing, he takes delight in our division because he knows that it leads to death. God bless you all, friends. Let's see it. Come on.